So I'm backtracking a little bit from the 2009 Lincoln set. I'm going to be looking at a little bit of the American Eagle Bullion coins. I'm not really concerned with that series too much, except at this point I'm kind of looking at where some of the interesting surface textures that'll feature on some more of the coins yet to come from here on out get their first precedence here in this set here. This is a set from 2007. Actually, each of 2006, 7, and 8, they were featuring the this same kind of set. I just have the one to represent what we have, and what that is called a burnished set. So let's see here. See, it's uncirculated, so they're not proofs. And the United States certified these coins uncirculated 1/2, 1/10. The Gold Bullion Coin Act of 1985. Okay. In 1995, they had a W mint with a W mint mark, $1 Eagle bullion coin, which I didn't show. Design of Liberty on the reverse is a diamond representing a family of eagles. Okay, so this is just the basic design. Now let's see if it mentions that these coins are what they call burnished. So it's West Point mint, and that is the normal alloy for these. No, this is gold. 91.67 gold, 3 point silver, and then the rest is copper. Interesting. No mention that they've been the designs. Anyway, claim is that these are what was called burnished, and they do have a rather distinctive looking finish to them. So let's take a look at this finish. Oh gosh, well, I'll just look at the front. It doesn't really matter. I'm just studying the they almost look kind of matte like, but they're not. It's an interesting, even, smooth color. It's almost like the matte of those matte nickels in the $50. So this is the 2007, and this is how they look. Well, that was kind of like a beginning of experimenting with different surfaces, somewhat more. But the burnished specifically didn't get used again. But what did get used again was a couple of ideas that came out in a 2013 set for the same, just now the Silver Eagles. So now we talk about this 2013 American Eagle West Point 2-coin silver set. So it was a 2-coin set. How do you get this open? There we go. And they talk about these sets. We are pleased to present this 2-coin, an exquisite collection that captures the essence and beauty of these cherished coins. This set, 1 American Eagle silver reverse proof coin and 1 enhanced American Eagle silver uncirculated coin, both minted at the United States Mint at West Point to proudly celebrate its facility's 75th anniversary. I didn't know it had been around that long. They didn't strike any coins there until 1974, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe they had a assay office or something there. The uncirculated coin features the enhancements that are unusual for an uncirculated coin. On the obverse, the mountains, the red stripes and blue parts of the United States flag, the year, the Liberty sandal have an uncirculated finish. The remaining elements and lettering on the obverse have the heavy frosted finish. On the reverse of the coin, the ribbon on the eagle's beak, the arrows and obelisk branch, the alternating stripes in the shield and the border around the shield have an uncirculated finish. The lettering and other design elements on the reverse have the heavy frost finish. The fields on both sides of the coin have have the new light frosted finish. All of these enhancements unique to this American Eagle silver uncirculated coin and sharp definitions to the edges. So, oh, this is an interesting bit of history now about the mint here. The United States Mint West Point facility, completed in June 13, 1938, sits on 4 acres of land near the United States Military Academy, Old Northgate, and was originally established as an adjunct of the New York Assay Office. The West Point facility, which originally functioned solely as a bullion depository, played a pivotal role during World War II, loaning silver to the War Department, industry, and our allies under the Land Lease Program. In 1982, more than 57 million fine troy ounces of gold bullion was transferred to the West Point facility for storage in its vaults. Today it stores, secures, and protects 1/4 of the nation's gold reserves and most of the silver bullion owned by the United States. The United States at West Point minted 1-cent coins from 1974 through 1986 to support production of the other United States mint facilities, and bicentennial quarters were produced there in 1976 on a new press that struck 4 coins at once. In 1980, the United States Mint at West Point began striking gold in the form of the American Arts gold medallions. The first legal tender $10 gold coin minted in the United States in more than 50 years, commemorating the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, was minted at this facility. This was also the first coin minted to bear the distinctive W mint mark for the West Point, United States Mint at West Point. The West Point facility, received official status designating it as the United States Mint at West Point on March 31, 1988, making it the first new government-operated mint in the United States in more than 100 years. Okay, so this is interesting. All right, whole neat story. We'll take a look at the coins themselves because it's kind of neat to see how this worked. Okay, so now there's the coins. Now let's see here. You think you can get this out? Yes. So, and here we introduce an interesting design concept, which we'll be seeing a lot more of, called the reverse proof. So usually the proof would have the raised features frosted and the background smooth and shiny. Before that, you often had simply what was called brilliant proofs. The whole surface was brilliant and shiny because the whole die had simply been polished. But they found a way to polish the flat surfaces while not affecting the standing out surface features. So there it is, and the back had the same really interesting looking look to it. So very neat look. They would be using this look for other coins, which we'll be getting to follow, and installments to follow. This, on the other hand, even though it may look like a proof, it's not. It's kind of neat how you can see how the different parts of the dress kind of alternate some of the features. Look at the way the stars stand out, the stars and stripes. So this is the first and one of the more extraordinary examples of what could be called an enhanced uncirculated coin. It really is not a proof, but it's as beautiful as a proof. Well, so these were where these sorts of things were first seen, and that's why we commemorate those. Well, let's start looking at when we started doing this with real coins. 2014, the very next year, was a big year for the Kennedy half dollar. There are a number of special packages, starting with these here. They are often listed in the Red Book as high relief. They do look very nice, nicely struck, and so forth, and yet show all the characteristics otherwise of pretty much just being uncirculated coins. Still, they might be more high relief. At any rate, they do look pretty lovely, and this is the smallest and the cheapest of the special things, just a P and D. There's the P, there's the D version of the 2014 to commemorate 50 years of the Kennedy half. A far larger example of the Kennedy half had been this set here, design, also to commemorate this, and it decided for this they managed to have 4 different Kennedy halves, each with something different about it. So the first one here from the W Mint, West Point Mint, is a reverse proof 2014 Kennedy half. So now for the first time the reverse proof design is used on what is otherwise a normal circulating coin. Very spectacular. And it's also from the W Mint, which is kind of cool. Okay, this next coin is, however, a straight proof from the Philadelphia Mint. So now you see the straight proof just has the raised features have a frosty cameo look, as they call it, and the background is shiny, and the same on the reverse. So this would be just a standard proof, and sometimes the Philadelphia Mint did still make them, as it did this one. Then another one you'd have would be, this would be an enhanced uncirculated from San Francisco, and it looks almost like the proof, as if it had a cameo, but the background doesn't have that same mirror look because it is not a proof coin. It is an uncirculated coin, and it has been enhanced. Ooh, I see how the top of that shield is treated a little differently from the other raised features. So a little, and the stars too, huh? So this is an enhanced uncirculated $50. So that's pretty nice. And then finally, there'll be a regular uncirculated coin from the Denver Mint, and it still looks kind of nice, kind of matte finish almost, or something. It's got a very nice look to it, but it's kind of uniform, so it's equally kind of frosty everywhere, maybe almost like a burnished coin, even though it doesn't say that anywhere. So that was a big deal to introduce that, and it's just commemorating 50 years of the Kennedy $50. But there is yet one more thing where we commemorated the $50. This, of course, is the most ridiculous and extraordinary commemoration, and that was the Kennedy $50 struck in gold. So, look at that. It's struck in gold, 1964 to 2014. So, this, of course, is the pricey one. Ooh, look at that. It even puts the W mint mark back where the mint mark used to be in 1964 Kennedy halves. It also tells you what the gold amount is there. 14 ounces, 0.9999 fine gold. Look at that. It's basically a cameo proof from the W mint. But the key thing on this one is it is a gold Kennedy $50. So that's pretty extraordinary. They finally started introducing one other thing, and that was special versions of these Native American coins dollar series, starting with 2014. This one, of course, honored Native hospitality. They had very hospitably received the Europeans. Boy, one has to wonder whether the Europeans gave them a good reason to be very hospitable, but that's history for you. But at any rate, there it is. It's an enhanced design. The background has this sort of matte look, but the raised features are frequently shiny and so forth. So this is an enhanced 2014 Native American coin. The front is similar to the Sacagawea, other than it doesn't have a year showing. It's on the edge like they did on the presidential coins. And on the back, again, Here you see the native hospitality. They were guides. They helped us through there, starting with her. And so that was it. So they celebrated the hospitality. Let's see what here. 2009, we went mission issue $1 coins featuring designs celebrated important contributions made by Indian tribes and individual Native Americans to the history and development of the United States. The Native American $1 coin program was authorized by the Native American $1 Coin Act. The 2014 Reverse Tales design commemorates Native hospitality, ensuring the success of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Success of the Lewis and Clark mission to explore the newly acquired territory from the 1803 Louisiana Purchase ultimately depended on help from the Indian tribes. For every step of their way across the territory from the Rocky Mountains to the Pacific coast, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark depended on the friendship, supplies, and logistical support of the American Indian tribes they encountered along the route. They camped in the midst of tribes in 1804 to 1806, and their cooperation was essential to the resounding success of the mission. Lewis expressed the highest respect for one of the American Indian chiefs and walked miles out of his way to smoke a pipe with him. This interaction served as a thematic inspiration for the reverse design of the 2014 Native American $1 coin. Members of the expedition group traded for corn and gathered every bit of intelligence they could about the route ahead. Down the length of the Columbia River, they traded with tribes for provisions and received instructions on preparing for and dealing with the harsh northwest winter. So this talks about there it is. There's a D mint mark, and there's a okay. So that has a D mint mark, I suspect, on the edge where you can't see it. And I also threw in here a dollar. I don't know. I mean a paper dollar. Anyway, here we are. We have the specifications, the designers, and so forth. The edge is lettered. So there we have it. Right, but his wife offers provisions of fish, corn, roots, and grounds. In the background is a stylized image of the face of William Clark's compass, highlighting NW as the area which the expedition occurred. It includes the required inscriptions, United States of America, and $1. The obverse head design retains the central figure of the Sacagawea design first produced in 2000, with the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust. So there we are. And thanks for watching this. That brings us up through 2014.